a small neighborhood in Palo Alto, a retired Army veteran,
a chronically ill patient,
and a marijuana hippie all live under the same roof. Welcome to
the Americans.
Today, the Americans are deliberating on what public goods they should all pay for, between security and defense, healthcare, and marijuana. Here are the personal views of each American.
I mean, look at me. I've been in this bathrobe for like 5 years. For all I know, I got some swine flu, monkey AIDS kind of disease. And this Costco brand stuff isn't helping anymore. We need some definite improved healthcare in this household. I think second up, I like the marijuana. You know, it helps with the headaches, gets the blood going. Feels pretty good. And definitely least important of all, we live in Palo Alto. No one is going to break into this house and do any kind of business in here. We're safe.
Easily the most important thing is weed. I mean, it's natural, it's soothing to the body. And I think probably second most important is there's a little bit of security around here because you have the feds. I mean, they'll take my stash and I don't want that. And then, but we don't need healthcare. I mean, when we have weed, you always feel good. There's no need for healthcare. It's the truth.
First and foremost, we need to keep this house safe. I've worked too hard for too long to just have people come in this house through this window right here and just take everything that I've worked up for. I also need a little bit of healthcare because, you know, after this wound I got here from the war. You want to see the shrapnel wound?
No.
Okay, but yeah, we need to keep this good, so we need to spend some money on that. But marijuana? Really? You know what? I think we should just have a head-to-head vote on each of these things to figure out what's the most important.
Okay, I can do that.
You can see here the table of each individual's preferences for each of the public goods proposed. 1 is the highest preference and 3 is the lowest. Let's look at the head-to-head vote between national defense and marijuana. For each voter, they'll prefer one of these goods over the other, simply because they are ranked unequally. For Jesse, he ranks national defense higher and will vote for it. Cameron and Brian will both have a higher preference for marijuana and will vote for marijuana. This leads to a 2-to-1 vote in favor of marijuana over national defense when presented as a head-to-head vote against each other. So, marijuana beats national defense. Now, looking at the vote between healthcare and marijuana, Cameron prefers marijuana while Jesse and Brian prefer healthcare. Healthcare beats marijuana, which beats household defense. At this point, we see here that the dominant or preferred good is healthcare over marijuana and defense. Looking at the final head-to-head between defense and healthcare, we would expect healthcare to win out, simply because of the graph below. However, only Brian votes for healthcare, while Jesse and Cameron pick defense. So, defense wins in a 2-to-1 vote over healthcare. But wait, it shows that defense loses to marijuana. What's going on? Let's look at the 3 head-to-head results from before. So here, you can see that household defense loses to marijuana, marijuana loses to healthcare, and healthcare loses to household defense, which again loses to marijuana. See the cycle? We see no dominant good through the process above, only a repeating cycle. This is called the paradox of voting, which is stated as a situation in which society may not be able to rank its preferences consistently through paired choice majority voting. Now, keep in mind, this isn't disproving the usefulness of democracy. This is merely a flaw in a very specific situation. If any of the voters' preferences were changed, there would most likely be a dominant good, and thus no paradox. Therefore, the Americans fought ceaselessly because they could not come to a final decision due to the paradox, and all suffered as a result.
Brian Yu died due to a lack of medical supplies.
Jesse died trying to fight off house invaders.
And Cameron died due to loneliness.